Good morning, y'all. My name's Jess Richardson, and I love my life. I love my day. I feel like I just always need to start with, positive in my head, positive, because that's what we all need, right? I woke up really early before the sun was up this morning, and I just knew that I needed to do something that I had never planned on doing again, and that is sharing my story. And the reason I never thought I would do it again was because I went public with a very small portion of my story back in 2009. It blew up, it went really big, I did a whole lot of hoopla, and then I shut everything down and walked away. We moved to Texas, and it was like never to be talked about again. And then here I am 3 years later. I'm having all of these wake-up calls. I'm learning to live life truly out loud. I hope the audio is working okay on this because it's kind of windy today, but we're just going to roll with it anyway. So I apologize. Someday I'll have one of those fancy schmancy headsets or something that where you can get good audio, but right now we're just having coffee. So I swore I'd never do it again. I woke up this morning, I was like, I just need to give a very brief, big overview of my life so y'all can understand where I'm coming from and why I'm talking the way I'm talking. And then the on this day thing on Facebook came up, and I just started sobbing because I realized that today is the 3-year anniversary that one of my best friends killed himself. And quite frankly, I almost killed myself too. And that is why we left Oregon. And he stayed. He ended up killing himself, and it's just so hard. And so, Alex, wherever you are, I love you. And I'm doing this for you, buddy. I love you. And I miss you. I miss you so much. Okay. So bullet points. We're going to zippily a word. We're going to run through what my life was. I was born in 1979. My parents were hippies. Both of them had experienced severe trauma and wanted something different for me. I'm crying already. I shouldn't be crying. Quite yet. No shame. It's okay if I cry. Sorry, correct myself right there. My parents loved me with everything they had. They did the best they could with me. They were just simply oblivious when I started being raped when I was 4 and 5 years old by our neighbors. And before there's a ton of outrage over that, forgiveness is deep in me. The kids, they were brothers, they were teenagers. They were shown love the same way they were showing me love. It doesn't make it right. It makes it understandable. And that's how I'm able to forgive them. They messed me up in so many ways, but I didn't know it. Life went on. We moved. It stopped when I was 5. When I was 10 years old, my father was murdered in a homicide-suicide, also by a teenager. So the 17-year-old guy, he killed my father and then killed himself. Life went on. My mom ended up getting remarried to a guy that wasn't nice to me, and I started leaving home. I've been on my own, on and off, mostly since I was 14. Ended up jumping in with gangs. I was raped into the Crips. I was like a token white girl when I was 16. That got ugly. Ended up running away from that. Ended up at the ripe old age of 17 meeting a pimp who trafficked me into the sex industry. He changed my name. I lived under a false identity for 4.5 years. but I got away from him after like 14 to 15 months. It was actually a sex worker who helped me escape. Her and I became great friends, ended up staying in the sex industry for years and finding honestly so much encouragement and strength from it, because I was finally able to own my body and say that it was mine. It gave me the ability to have the false confidence and create the false confidence that I talked about, I think, in my last video. As much trauma was there, I also learned a lot of lessons. I ended up getting pregnant with my daughter, quit everything, walked away, and decided I was going to learn to be a parent. And I wanted to give her a different life than what I had had, but yet had no clue how to be a parent. Ended up becoming a Christian, like a non-denominational Christian. Met Reed. We ended up getting married. Like, we knew each other for 7 months. We met through a friend online dating. Like, this is back in 2003. We ended up getting married in 2004. Had no clue how to have like healthy sexual relationships, how to be intimate, like how to really deeply connect with a husband, a partner, someone that just really cared for me. And we both had so many issues going into it. We were just like kids. I was 24. He had just turned 20 when we got married. And it was wild. We had some people come into our life who mentored us. We had community that really helped us and gave us strength. We journeyed for a while. I ended up really reconciling my relationship with my mom. She became my best friend. By the time we had Chloe, my 4th child, she moved from Florida to Idaho, where we were living at the time. We started a business together, the 3 of us, Reed, my mom, and myself, worked together, and we were just nailing it. We loved it. That was when I first really started to get online, and I posted, just started really posting about couponing. We had the Money Maniac couponing system. That was my first informational product. You can actually still find the videos on YouTube. And a really, really fun music video that my mom produced, and one of my favorite people in the world, Quincy, was like the whole shebang of video, which is why I don't know how to edit, because he did my editing and he's amazing. And then over Christmas of 2009, my mom got sick. She was diagnosed with a really specific type of leukemia. She ended up dying 13 days after the diagnosis, 17 days from the first time she got sick. And it devastated me. And I miss my mom so much. She was the best mom in the world to an adult child. She loved me so much, and God, I miss her every day. But she died, and then Reed and I have this business that was for 2 people, except now there's only 1 full-time, just me, because it was my mom and I, and Reed was really home with the kids a lot. And right before she died, 2 months before she died, I went public with my story about being a trafficking survivor. And when I did my first news interview, she sat next to me and she goes, "Jess, you don't want them to slit their wrists when you're done," which was so funny. But what she was saying was, be light. My story is really, really intense. I've been through incredible trauma. But that's not the end. The end is right here, right now. The end is every day. As long as I'm breathing, the end isn't here. And honestly, it was that moment that she gave me that helped me understand that I had to laugh, that I had to be fun, that I needed to find joy in every moment. So she died, and I had just gone public with my story, and I felt like I really needed to keep going for her. And so I ended up founding a nonprofit, being very public, very vocal, just trying to figure out where my voice would best be utilized. I did a lot of consulting in that time, a lot of public speaking, a lot of news interviews. I was just really out there. And then things started to spiral. And it was mostly around religion and the church, and how the church was treating the survivors that I was working with. How essentially stigma kills. Stigma truly does kill. It's what killed my friend. It's what almost killed me. And honestly, the hate, the anger was just more than I could bear. We had a glimmer of hope. We rebranded the nonprofit, moved to Southern California, and my right-hand guy ended up dying in his sleep. He was young. Like, my partner was just losing her crap. And like everything just fell apart. And I was devastated. We didn't know what to do. We didn't know how to pick up the pieces. So we moved to Texas. And I didn't talk about it. I ended up getting a job bartending. And I was just like, I'm just going to bartend. I'm going to have fun. And no one needs to know who I was about all this past stuff. I had lost enough weight that people didn't recognize me really when they Googled me. And it was beautiful. And for all my shooters people, my God, I love you people, because you had no clue and you didn't care and you loved me anyway. And that was such a sweet time where I was just able to come in, have fun, be me. And God, I'd only been there for a few months when Quincy got sick. Quincy was 4 at the time. He's now 7. He almost died from, he got Lyme disease, cat scratch fever, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, all in one bug bite. He spent 9 days in the hospital. They said he was going to die. It changed everything. We lost any amount of credit I had left was gone. Some dear friends of ours did a GoFundMe and raised $14,000 for the trailer that we still live in that was completely totaled in the storm, but Reed and I worked to remodel it for 3 months to move back home, but now it's a salvage trailer. But it was because we had insurance, good job paying my bills, yay. We had insurance, and so that was able to help us, but it's like now we're left with a salvage trailer. So, anywho, Quincy got sick. We stayed there for a while. We ended up healing him naturally through natural medicine, and then we discovered part of it had to do with the cedar that was up in the hill country of Texas. So we came to the coast, Rockport, for one night in August of 16. We said we need to move. We moved the day after Christmas 2016, and it was awesome. We made it about 9 months. I was working in a couple different bars here, and then Hurricane Harvey came through, leveled most of the town, and it was just like, okay, that's when we just said, we're going to just start over right now. We're going to do what we love, and we're going to live life on our terms. So what you're seeing with Jess's Booty, with these films, is really, I am very aware that I am going to die. And when I do, I want to leave my legacy. And I want to leave the joy, the fierce fire, the excitement that comes with life, that life really should be. I want to leave that for my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren. I want them to know me. I think that my voice has value and has power for you, the viewer, because I want you to learn from my mistakes, have hope, and keep going. Learn to put on that happy face. Let's do our happy dance together and just go. Life is great. And I'm never going to charge for my value, for my knowledge again. I just want to give it to you freely. My one ask is that as we're building our business and all of those things, we're doing it on a very shoestring budget. If y'all could share these videos, if you could share Jess's Booties videos, if you could just share what we're doing, that provides huge value. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. Just engage, interact. It will help us support our family and me continue to always provide free value, because it's what I love. Honestly, it's my purpose, is to just engage, interact, and I love people. I get so frustrated by the mean people of the world, but really in my heart, I love all of you so deeply. People that really give a poop about life and want to play and know that there's more than just the drama. Gosh, there's so much BS in this life. Just chin up, head down. We have a saying that has dramatically changed everything for me, and it's everything's okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. And you know what? It's not the end, because I woke up this morning. So did you. Let's go rock this stuff, and we're going to do it again tomorrow, just because I'm having a great time. I love you guys. Please share. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon. If you have questions, if you just want to say something, please just say something in the comments. I'm here. Okay, love y'all. Bye.